I'm gonna say it. Please say it with me. Ramadasa Sase Soham. Please mute yourself, Virginia. And Barbara Kramer.
Yes.
Mute.
I'm not on mute. Oh, you want me to be on mute?
Yes.
Okay. I'll do it in a second as soon as I find my.
Ramadasa Sase Soham. Ramadasa Sase Soham. Ramadasa Sase Soham. Ramadasa Sase Soham. Close your eyes. Ramadasa Sase Soham. 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 One last time. Ramadasa Sase Soham. Breathe in and relax. I'm hoping that everybody is enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day outside. I would like to start with how introducing ourselves and to see what it is that of your personality that you would like to let go. Starting with Reverend Virginia. Unmute, please. Virginia, unmute. Thank you.
My name is Virginia, as we have well established. Defensiveness.
Thank you. Sherry?
Oh, she took mine.
We can share.
Oversensitivity.
Okay. Barbara?
Yes. Something I would like to get rid of?
Your personality, something you want to let go of.
Okay. What I'd like to let go of is self-criticism kinds of thoughts that seem to pop up a lot. I'd like to let go of those. For sure.
So that's self-criticism? Did you say self-criticism?
Yeah, self-criticism. You know, like, stupid, why'd you do that? You know, you shouldn't do that, you know, that kind of stuff.
I got it. Thank you. Charlotte?
I think I would like to release thinking I'm right a lot.
Okay, I can sympathize with that. Penny? Unmute, please.
I did. I've got several. I think probably being, for lack of a better word, being so anal about things. Just
Analytical. Okay.
No, not analytical, anal. Just meaning I'm a, perfectionist, whatever. Everything has to be just so, right? So
I see.
yeah, and I'd like to release that.
Okay. Irma?
I think I would like to release the concepts that I'm doing. It's some kind. It's like judgment, also judgment of others and myself. Both of the judgments, all the judgments.
Okay. Liliana?
Anxiety and worry.
Okay, you disappeared. Lisa?
Righteousness is definitely one I was going to say, but
which one?
Righteousness.
Righteousness, okay.
Yeah. And laziness.
Okay. Mary? Willa?
Off the top of my head, this anxiety, and I don't know how to release, just selfish. I want to get rid of them. They
Okay.
cause some of my anxiety.
All right. So we're coming to Diane that just left, that just joined us. Hi, Diane.
Hi, I can't figure out how to get the camera on.
A question.
Okay.
So the question for today is something that you want to let go of your personality you would like to let go of.
That's a hard one for me. I'm thinking. Anxiety.
Anxiety. Okay. And now it comes to me, I would like to let go of procrastination, which I think is my biggest one. I can name a few, but let's start with something that really needs to go. So all the other ones will fall in line. A lot of times we think it's a bunch of them, but they're all usually bunched up under one. So for example, procrastination puts everything that I'm doing behind on my work. No matter what it is I do, I can never catch up because I am procrastinating on other areas. So procrastination is for me. So I would like to hear from you guys from the last week's class, specifically Liliana, who had several questions last week. How did it go for you with the class from last week, Liliana?
It went well. I felt I was able to follow.
Okay, so there's no questions from last week?
No.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Charlotte?
Gotta unmute.
I don't think I have any questions.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions from last week where we were talking about, yeah, Penny?
Unmute.
Unmute. Unmute. Okay.
Yes, I do. And I had to think about this a while. I went back and listened to I took my picture off.
Mine's gone too.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Okay. It says that webcam off by coordinator. So I don't know.
You can go ahead and do it when you finish talking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think that I went back and listened to the recording because I wanted to make sure I got this right before I asked the question. And you had said, and that there is no need for forgiveness because that comes from guilt and the mind creates the problem. And the only thing that I would question about that is from personal experience myself, that I, without going into a lot.
Stop for a second, because I didn't get the one word that you were talking about.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness, that there's no need for forgiveness. I didn't say that. The Course in Miracles said that.
Oh, well, okay, I'm sorry, because you said that, I thought it came from you.
But I do agree with it, and it is a biggie. So
yeah,
what's the question on that?
Okay, so the question is, I had worked a significant amount of time writing personal story about a past situation, and it was a cathartic experience to write the personal story. And as a result of that personal story, I found that I was able to forgive the person. And forgiveness in that particular situation gave me peace. Now, I looked back through my notes last week, and I had in big, with a big box drawn around it, the word peaceful. That's what we want to be. We want to be peaceful. So if forgiveness provides that peace, which it did for me in that particular case, then forgiveness, I don't think, is unnecessary if what forgiveness gives you, even if it's based on guilt, even if it's something that was created in my mind. When the person asked me to forgive him, and I did forgive him, and I felt this whole because there was a mutual guilt, I would have to say, and so it all drained out of me, like all of this was just going out from my top of my head to my feet, and it went into the ground, and I felt peace, and I felt peace ever since. And that was 20 years ago that I wrote the story, and that I had that conversation with the individual, and the peace. I still feel that peace, and I would never give up that experience. So that was my okay.
So what is the question?
The question is, I don't agree with you, or don't agree with them, the Course in Miracles, that forgiveness is not necessary if it leads to peace.
It talks about forgiveness, but it's telling you that the forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. And like you're saying, it gave you peace.
Okay.
So you're not in disagreement. You're just acknowledging what I told you last week, that the forgiveness was for you.
Okay. Well, but it had said the word was it's not necessary. Well, I think in this case it was necessary.
It is not necessary once you know, and once you advanced enough to let it go. But what you are actually letting go of is the guilt of holding somebody in a space where you have condemned them of being guilty, therefore you have to forgive. So we're talking about guilt again. Okay, so you're talking about having somebody hostage in your mind because now they owe you something. You know, the guilt is like, okay, I would not forgive you because you did such and such and such. That's a big judgment, and that is a big judgment from you. The one you're actually judging is you about your guilt. And once you can let that go, the guilt falls off.
Okay, well, there was guilt in the situation also. A lot of people would say I was blaming the victim. And I didn't agree with that. I felt that there was guilt on
I understand. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, and I understand guilt. And as we are going to be talking about guilt, this semester has a lot to do with guilt because it's the number one separator, the attraction of guilt. And that is the biggest deterrent that keeps you separated from everybody else. So guilt involves forgiveness, involves judgment, involves condemnation of the other person, involves all this gamut of experiences that somebody got judged fairly or unfairly is inconsequential. What it is essential here for you to remember is that forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you to let go of the guilt. So you won't feel guilty about putting guilt on somebody else. I didn't say the other person wasn't feeling guilty. All I'm saying is you want to get rid of guilt on your side. And when you do that, of course, you're going to be at peace. Does that make sense to you?
Even though some people would say that I shouldn't feel guilty about what happened because I didn't initiate it, but I did feel guilt. So,
Well, if you had to forgive, if you had to forgive, you felt guilty.
Okay.
That goes no matter what. No matter what, if you have to forgive somebody, it's because you feel guilty. Not that you're guilty, but that you feel guilty.
What about love? What about you feel like you still love that person? Maybe that's more, I would feel more accurate about that.
Well, that's part of the guilt, that you cannot partake of the love part, because that will always come in between. Yes, Liliana.
My question here would be that if we really want to go to the highest vibration, wouldn't it be easier, instead of getting into, as you would describe, if I'm getting you right, because I used to get also very entertained in the story, but if we drop the story, then that falls altogether, because there is no guilty. There's not a guilty one. So because
there's not a what?
If you are interested in highest vibration, from where I am standing at the moment, you know, as long as I'm identified with the story of someone with that past, like Penny was describing, obviously you will be held hostage in a specific place, and you cannot go to a different vibration, because that is the mind that got, you know, fixated on that personality.
Right.
So my question is, isn't it just easier, instead of going into explaining or anything, is just noticing that we have an attachment to the story, and the willingness should be to let go of the story?
You're still putting your emphasis on something that needs to be done. You're still putting your emphasis on something needs to be done in order for you to come up.
Yes.
Are you following me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as long as you're doing that, you cannot really get a higher vibration.
But if I hadn't written my story, I would never have gotten to the point that I did.
But that was 20 years ago, Penny. You're still.
I know, but every time I read the story, it changes.
I'm talking to Liliana.
Oh, okay.
I will be talking to you in a minute. Go ahead, Liliana.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and how do I get out of, because I do recognize the need of the story. How do I drop it now? Because the story, I see myself.
Okay, hold on. Let me say something about stories. So you have this story, and your ego will fight for that story, okay? And it will say, but the first thing you have to recognize about a story is that it's history. It's not present. It's no longer in the present moment. When you're not in the present moment, then you're having it's a history. Anything that you attach to the history part of what you're doing, by necessity, what people call reality is always based on the past. So reality is not real. It's unreal. So if you're attached to the story, I will have to tell you, why are you bringing your past into your present to address your future? Does that make sense? Wouldn't it be easier to say, I am, my vibration is high, I am grateful, and I am happy and grateful that I have a nice vibration, and that I vibrate freely, and that I share that vibration with everyone? that, you know what I'm saying? Address that rather than try to fix a problem. The moment you start fixing a problem, you put your attention on that problem, and then it, you create more of it.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Penny?
Well, it's kind of, okay, I disagree because I guess my master's thesis was based on this. So come on, we're going to have a little trouble getting around this. But don't forget, I was doing it from a, not dimension, it was a third dimension. And I think I helped a lot of women by talking about writing your stories. Now, let me tell you, every time I read that story again, it changes because the older I get and the more I learn and the more experience I have, that story changes for me. I mean, I look at it like it really wasn't me. So I understand what you're saying, Angie.
Let me say something. Let me say something here.
But it really saved my life to write that
Let
story.
me say something, please.
Okay.
Okay. What we're learning now, we're in the fifth dimension. What happened on the third dimension at the time was needed.
Right.
Not only was it needed, but it was wanted. And it has no devaluation from where you were to where you're at now. It's like saying, okay, I was in elementary school and I made this project. And yes, you do not take that away from the 10th grade or the whatever grade you were in. Now you're at university level and you're going, okay, what is next? But what you did then helped you, help a lot of people and all of that. And we were all still in third dimension.
Right. No, I understand that. But I guess I would still say it would help people who are not yet in the fifth dimension or even have any idea what that's all about. It would still,
right. I agree with you.
Forgiveness would still help people.
I agree with you for people that are still functioning on the third level capacity. But if you want to come up higher, you have to let go of that. I'm talking for the people that are in transition between third and fifth dimension. We're in the fourth dimension. Once you open your heart chakra, fifth dimension, throat chakra, communication, okay? Third dimension, will, the will. You're operating from your will. That's your solar plexus. That's your will center. That's your, so once again, it will help the people that are on the third dimension, but you're not there anymore, Penny. You're trying to, and it's okay for you to disagree with me. I have no problem with it. Like I told you last week, you can disagree because I believe that helps the group when we start discussing things. That it adds to questions that are not being asked. So I do appreciate that you can feel free enough to say those things. Because a lot of people are not as willing to come forth and say those things. So thank you for that. And I'm not disagreeing with you. It takes no value from what you did then and what is helped and what it can help somebody who's still in the third dimension and refuses to come out of it. So it was still at this moment helpful for those people. I'm talking to the fifth dimensional crowd here.
Okay.
We are, if you will not be in this setup, if you did not have a specific vibration, you could not even possibly be invited to this. And if you were invited,
I feel like I'm way behind everybody else. I feel like I'm way behind everybody else because I still have
you're
these.
Not. None of us.
I still have these third dimension issues that come up, and I can't.
We all do. We all do. We'll process them, and then we'll get past them.
Okay.
Okay, but there's nothing.
Thank you, Sherry.
Anybody who does not belong in this dimension will not be in this group. They will eliminate themselves for whatever reason, X, Y, Z. Life will happen and they will not be here. Okay? So for whatever reason, or they don't understand, or they did not, whatever. Okay? So anybody else with the questions? Okay, so we talked about forgiveness is not necessary. We talked about guilt being the strongest deterrent on oneness. And our biggest problem as a world and as a society and as is what drives the world is guilt. We talked about getting rid of the personality. I mean, pretty strong subjects. But I mean, this is what fifth dimensional classes do. So let me be clear. You change personalities every time you change directions. We have been changing personalities since you started this class. Because for every adjustment to your personality and for everything that you have done, you're continuously changing. If you cannot change your personality, you will live the same life you're living at the moment. And if you're comfortable, that's okay. But let me tell you something will come out in life and it's going to push you. Because you came here as a spiritual being having a human experience. And if you're and the spirit is going, we came here to have a human experience. You're sitting there doing the same thing over and over and over and over. Come on, let's go. Let's go have some experiences. You know, a lot of people travel and go to different places and do different things, but the biggest adventure is not out there. The biggest adventure is here, traveling to within yourself, discovering what it is you want to do. What can you possibly express? There's so much expression. We are artists. We are, you know, the expression of that which is. And in order for us to allow spirit to express, we have to be willing to get into the unknown. And the ego is going to protect you from the unknown. Now, there's nothing wrong with the ego, so don't start blaming the ego, okay? It's not the ego's fault, it is the conditioning and the programming that the ego received, that's what the ego is responding to in present day society. So, in order to make not to make an enemy of your ego, make it your friend. Allow it to help you where it needs help. But you are the director of your mind, you're the director of your thoughts. The ego can help you structure or do different things. The brain itself is only a recording of everything that has passed in your life. It's a record of your life. If you want to change your life, you have to change your programming. In order for you to change your programming, you have to be willing to step into the unknown, where you're not sure or whatever. What happens? Nothing's going to happen. You're afraid of fear. You're afraid of fear. Fear of fear. So nothing will happen to you if you so-called succeed or fail. It's only an experience. Are you willing to have an adventure with yourself? Not an adventure out there, an adventure in your heart, an adventure in your soul, spirit adventure. In order for you to do that, you have to come out of the programming mode. In order for you to come out of the programming mode on the fifth level, on the fifth dimension, you're going to have to come out of your heart, like I've been telling you. And in order for you to come out of your heart, you're going to have to change how you think, how you feel, and your actions. So you have to change your persona, your personality. Your personality is the one that is creating the same experience over and over and over and over. If you do not take control of your thoughts, and let your thoughts run amok. And you have 70,000 thoughts in one day. What are you going to do when the tape is the same thoughts and the same thing and the same routine and the same everything? It's a continual routine of everything that you do. You do everything the same way. You got up, you went to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you went to the toilet, you flush the toilet, you wash your hands, you whatever. It's everything is a routine and everything is a program. You are running, no, you're not running. Programs are running your life. And that is the sad part, that we're running on programs. So in order for us to be more actualized and less programmed, we need to be willing to change our minds. When I was in psychology, I was studying, what do you call that? I was studying the different personality disorders. And it was strange because as I was going to start this meeting, somebody called me with a personal disorder issue. And I knew that I was going to talk about it today, but I mean, everything is in synchronicity. What needs to be said, what needs to be, if you follow spirit, spirit will guide you. There's no efforting. So a person that has multiple personalities, and I had a couple of those patients. But I'm going to talk about other patients, some that my family had. All of our family comes from psychologists, psychotherapists, etc., etc. There was this lady that had Crohn's disease in one of the personalities. When she changed to another personality, the next personality will then have Crohn's disease because they dropped the story, the history behind what they remembered. The personality itself had specific diseases. Well, you change personality and the next one didn't have Crohn's disease. The next one, and then let's say there was a third personality and the next personality will have different color eyes. I mean, it will be that dramatic a change. So, what I'm trying to say here is according to the persona, is the life experience that you're having. Drop the persona, your life will change. Another patient from another, from one of my brother's patients, he had diabetes, okay? The next personality will show up and the next personality will then have diabetes. Even they went as far as to record this. Even the test for 3 months that they say, the A1C test that shows your blood, how your blood was for the past 3 months when they took it on him, and it was a her at one time. The AC was perfect, but the one with the diabetes, the personality with the diabetes kept on getting worse. Okay, so what's reality here? Is it what you make it? Or is it is it inflexible? Is it really inflexible or is it pliable? Is it neuroplasticity? So I would like to hear from you and what you think about this. And give me a second because I lost you. I don't know where you went, but I need to bring you back. So give me a second.
Angie, who are you trying to bring back? Who did you lose?
I'm trying to look. There you go. I got it. I had lost all of you. Okay. I have done that before. I have done it, I don't know how many times already, but So anyway, I'm back and I need to see if anybody has questions. And don't tell me nobody has questions because this is a very heavy subject. Yes, Annabelle.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks, Angie, for having me with this lovely group. I'm looking at all of you. Oh, I miss you guys. So my question is, you said we are all running our lives, programs are running our life. Can you expand a little on that?
Okay. Okay. I realize you haven't been here for a while, so let's everything that we do, every thought becomes a habit. If you think it, every thought becomes cellular memory. Once a thought has been repeated enough, it becomes a cellular memory. Once it becomes a cellular memory, it's automatic, and that's a program. Okay, so that's when you're driving in the car and you lost track of time or whatever, or where you were at, and you got to where you went, where you were going, and you don't know how you got there. You just know you got there. Who was driving the car? It was your body. The cellular memory in your body drove the car. That's a program. How you get up every day, how you do the things that you do, your routines, everything is a program. They're programs. Change your routines, change things that even getting up on the other side of the bed, or brushing with your left hand, or learning to do new things in a different way, so you are allowing the brain to say, okay, the human body is considered an animal. You are not. So you're training the human animal to respond to spirit. Once you get that, you can get up in any way you want to. Once your body knows that it's no longer running the show, then you can let go of that. So everything that you start doing as a cellular memory, and we do 95% of our lives are run on cellular memory. So the more aware you become, as you become aware, then you become awake. But in order for you to be awake, you have to be willing to look at your life. You have to be willing to change the personality for the actualized being that you are. Did I answer your question, Abel? Sherry?
Okay. As we change our behavior, I think I have this straight. It becomes part of our cellular memory once we do it over and over and over again, in changing, for me, my oversensitivity, which is kind of defensiveness, but once I start doing that, then that eventually changes my cellular memory of who I am and how I react.
I will say, do you want to be running on the past? Or do you want to, no, okay, or do you want to run from the present to the future?
Yes.
Okay, so then you're gonna have to change your mind about what your future is, because otherwise you'll be carrying your past with you. Then you decide, okay, do I want the same future as my past, or do I want to change to whatever it is you intended it to change to, and then start doing all the things that I had taught you how to do to manifest. Okay.
So the answer is that yes, as we change our behaviors, but first we have to become aware before we can become awake. of these behaviors in order to change them.
Okay, but in order for you to become aware of that, you have to be willing to, because your ego, who's trying to protect you, is going to come in between and say, you know what, we cannot do this right now. You know what, I'm tired. You know what, I'm sleepy. You know what?
You know what, you're really not that bad. You can stay just as you are.
You know, so remember last class when I said you have to let go of the excuses, because no matter what, you're not going to die because you stayed up. You're not going to die because, you know, the world is not going to come crashing in on you because you couldn't attend or you couldn't do or you couldn't, whatever the excuse X, Y, Z. You know, you still would take whatever the excuse is and look at it. And you will know that is your ego fighting you. And I used to this, you know, I'm defending my routine. I do this from this to this. I do that from that to that. Emma eats at 5. I have to feed the dog. At what time do you feed the dog? You know what I'm saying, the routine.
But what I heard hopeful in this for me was that as I become aware and change those behaviors, that then becomes my new cellular memory.
Not really.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How are you gonna change the behavior?
Making a decision not to react oversensitively.
No, you're gonna pay attention to your sensitive reaction. Remember a couple of classes ago, I said you need to pay attention to your reactions to what is happening and pay attention to your reaction, and don't look at it as you normally would and just get carried away with it. Become the observer of that reaction.
Right.
Okay, and then realize where is that reaction coming from, and then get rid of the reaction by giving it to the robot. Remember the robot? But you're not only giving the mind part of that reaction to the robot, you're also giving the feeling part, the kinesthetic part, and the emotional part to the robot. Once you do that, you have created a link. Not only are you physically doing this, the physical part, you're also doing the depositing of the program into a programmable being or object, which is the robot. That's the program. That's the one that runs the things, not you. And so you're reprogramming your mind when you do that, and you do not take that long as you would affirmations. I am this and I am that and I am healthy and I am, you know, affirmations work, but it takes a long time because that's not what we do on 5th level. 5th level, everything is easy, remember? Okay. Anyone else?
Angie, this is Barb. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is would you say that when you start talking about programming or the programs under which we operate, and I believe a lot of them is subconscious in my case anyway, is that the same as your beliefs?
As what?
Your beliefs. What you believe is what you believe in.
Do you know what I believe? Okay, let me interrupt you right there. What is a belief?
Well, okay, so
no, I mean answer that. What is a belief?
What's a belief? For me, a belief is something that is often something under the sway of which I react. If I believe I am less than, then I will act that way. For me,
okay,
a lot of my beliefs.
Stop for a minute. A belief is nothing more than a repeated thought. You heard it enough, and it becomes a belief. And a belief becomes a habit. Mm-hmm. And a habit becomes an action. Okay? Mm-hmm. So Yes, if you are going through the belief system and all of that, but I want you to know that all that a belief is a repeated thought. It's not necessarily true. You might believe that because it got repeated so often that it became a belief. Out of that belief, you started acting according to that because it became a program.
Correct.
And out of that program, you started acting as if it was a truth.
Yeah, in my case, if something comes up for me and I sort of go backwards with the beliefs and write it down and kind of look at it, I realized that I didn't think I was acting under the influence of a belief that I held. I believed I was acting, independently of that. But now that I look at it, I realize I wasn't. I was actually not conscious of my beliefs, of the belief that was causing me to do the things I was doing, which really weren't for my best and highest good.
Okay.
That's all.
I got it. Do you have a question with that, Barb?
No, well, no, not really. I don't think. I mean, I found it personally, well, this is sort of weird, but I was reading the book about Donald Trump, Too Much and Never Enough. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's really interesting. It was written by a psychologist.
Okay, I want to say something here. Hold it.
What?
I want to say not everybody in this group has one party system. We are different party systems.
No, I'm not gonna complain about Trump. I don't care.
Okay.
What I'm saying is what was so interesting about it when I read some of the stuff that is part of his personality. I'm going to say that I recognize some of them in my own personality, which is really, really helpful. I thought, wait a minute, I'm not as extreme, perhaps, not as far, not going that far, but really and truly, it was really helpful for me to read about his psychological defenses, which a lot of it was about, and we all have. You may like his or not, I don't know. I didn't like mine particularly, but I realized that I had some of those same defenses, ego defenses or personality defenses or whatever you want to call them, that he has, which was really interesting because if someone had told me that before I really looked at it, I would have said, well, that's just crazy. I'm not like that. I don't do that stuff.
If you behave in a way that you really hate this guy or really are against this guy or whatever, I will say, look at yourself.
Well, that's what I did. And
yeah.
I had really asked the Holy Spirit, frankly, I had been asking that because I thought, well, I know I have to forgive, well, that's what the Course in Miracles says, that all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. And that's absolutely true. And I thought, well, not in his case. Actually, it is in his case, which was really interesting. So I had been asking for a way to forgive him. And when I realized I shared some personality traits with him, it was really eye-opening. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay.
I'm not condemning them necessarily. I mean, I have some of the same personality traits going on myself.
We all do, by the way. We all do.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yes, if you really look deep enough, you will find that out. Anyway, Liliana.
And can you elaborate on that computer or the robot? What's the difference if you want to give it to your higher power?
You guys were not. You were not on Vibrational 2.0, where I ask everybody to get a robot and put it on the side, signifying the programming. A robot is programs. I asked that we are not our thoughts, our sensations, our feelings, our emotions, or our body. And all that is programming. So when something that you don't want in there needs to be removed, you start with your thoughts and you go like this, and then you push them to the robot side, you give it to the robot, then you get to the emotional side and you give that to the robot, and you get to the feeling side, the sensual side and give it to the robot. And then at the last thing that you give to the robot is the charge, because every cellular memory comes with a charge. You want to get rid of that as well. And what this does, it helps your mind identify and begin to get new neurons understanding that you have a lot of programming and that you can just let go of that. And because you're creating something physical and actually doing a physical motion and putting it in there, it's not only intentional, but you're also passing it across. It works a lot faster. It's the equivalent of saying maybe 10,000 affirmations. So with each one of them, you become the observer. I mean, this is after you become the observer and saying, that's not me. I will not, that's not my truth. That's not who I am. That's not, and a lot of us, see a lot of things that we said we will never do that. It's not that we never will do something. Let's say, for example, what Barbara was talking about. It's not that we will behave in such a thing, but that we have in us, because we're unlimited beings, we have the ability to do the same thing he's doing. Got it?
I get that part. The only part that I wanted to find a distinction, what's the distinction if by using the robot, I see the whole steps you said, but what's
because
the distinction?
It's a programmable thing, and the thing that you want to do here is recognizing that what you're removing is a program. It's not your ego, it's not your, it's not something that is only programming that is messing up with what you want.
So really what you say there, if I'm getting you correct, the act of seeing it is really what helps, because the difference of giving up to the higher power is more like a spiritual activity, where this is like a seeing activity. Is that correct?
It is a body, mind, soul activity, because you are not only recognizing the body, the program, the projection, but you're also intending a change. You're also intending the removal of that in order to change your personality.
So really there's no room for a higher power in there.
What do you mean higher power?
Well, a higher power would be something that you understand that is like the universal intelligence.
Okay, let's say you want to cook something in the kitchen. What is your higher power there?
Oh, the higher power comes through intuition.
I'm talking about in doing something,
well, if it's mechanical, it's not coming through. But if there's some gaps in there and there's a room for spirit to come through, the higher power will come through.
Okay, you're not your body, you're not your mind, you're not your emotions, you're not your feelings. What is left is the spirit coming through you. And if you allow all that programming to get out of the way, that is your higher power. Okay.
Thank you.
Who has music playing?
That was the music of the angels. It wasn't me.
Yes, Anna. Bell.
So, yeah, okay. So I was taking the notes when you said, get rid of excuses, removing the program. And I wrote down the emotional, the physical, the mind. Is there something else? Not this.
Okay, you're not your mind, you're not your emotions, you're not your feelings, you're not your body.
Right.
Those are the 4 things you're not.
The feeling ones I was missing. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
That's it? Okay. Yes, Irma.
So what is the difference between giving all the programming and the charge to the robot? Is it another way of letting it go?
No, you're recognizing and allowing your mind and your body. You're giving a different cellular memory to the body that this is not you, this is a programming, and you're letting it go. So you are recognizing at a cellular level that what you're letting go of is not you. Whatever untruth is showing you, for example, you're afraid of something, that's not you. That's not your truth. Okay, so you're going, this fear of flying or whatever is not mine. My truth is I am the spirit of love and not of fear, or whatever your truth is about that. Your highest truth, who you truly are as a spiritual being, not as a body. So there is nothing between this and that. What you're doing is getting rid of the programming. Irma?
Yes, I turned it back.
So did that cover your question? Because I don't think it did. Because
well, it's a little bit similar to the question that Liliana was, I thought it was a little similar to the Liliana's question. If I let go of that, what does not belong to me as my higher self, the Christ consciousness, let's call it that, or the higher self, if I let all of that go, of that negative feeling, the negative emotion, all of the thoughts and all of that, I just don't know what the robot, why do I need a robot? Why can't I just give it to the higher power to deal with it?
Because you have a cellular memory in place, you're gonna have to replace that at a cellular memory. So the cellular memory will be habitual as you go like this and giving it to the robot. You're in your mind saying there's a robot that gets a programming. God does not get a programming. Okay, you need to understand at an animal level, not as a spiritual level. You're training an animal to be that you're not that animal, that you are higher than that, that you know, that you are running the program. That is not a program, but you're doing what spirit is dictating. And the more that you do that, the clearer you become. And the more clearer you become, the more actualized you become, because you can see clearly which way you're guided to go, because that will be your passion. Your passion will show up and things will come into your life that will manifest that. You won't even have to worry about which way am I supposed to be going here, which choice is it? It will come to you. Yes, Virginia.
So what is the you that is deciding to give it to the robot?
The part of you that is deciding to give it to the robot is what we call the observer, or at a soul level.
And I was told that that is the higher self.
Okay. At this point in time, for this class at this level, which is not high enough for me to change it, I'm gonna say go ahead and keep it at that. As we go higher in education, things will start changing again. Okay. Yes, Mary Willa.
So when you were explaining it, I had some computer things that I had to take care of, or my computer was gonna go out on me. So okay. I want to make sure, so the robot, the intention of that is to remove the actually parts of you that have become you that really you don't need and you don't want. And it sounded like when you're giving it to the robot, there was actually a physical movement that had to be done. So you have to physically move something. You do it around your face, and
I usually go like this and throw it through the side. I usually go to my right. And the reason I go to my right is because the right side of your body represents the future, from present to future. You're right here in the present, you put it in the future. You don't want to go to your left because that is your past. You know, it's like when you are psychologically looking to your right, you're thinking about the future. When you see a person looking to the left, they're looking to the past. When they are even in right there, is that they're looking presently.
Okay, thank you.
And you just said you want to throw it to the future. Wouldn't you want to throw it to the past if you're removing programs? I don't want them to go to the future, whatever that is on the left.
No, in other words, I'm not putting it as that. In other words, when I throw it to the future, it's out of me. It's out of my body. It's not in you anymore. You're giving it to something that can be programmed, but you're not it. You're taking it away from you. You're not.
Right. I'm taking it away from me, but I would do it the opposite. I would have thrown it to the past, not to the future.
Okay. Whatever works for you. I'm just telling you why to the right. And the reason is that you're doing it in the present time. You're getting rid of it right now. You're not making it a history. You're making it an actual thing. At this moment in time, I choose. I choose. It is your way of intending and choosing at this moment in time. If I come from the past, the choice of a different outcome cannot come. Diane, thank you. Diane, you have a question? Okay.
It's me again here. So what exactly?
I'm sorry. Oh, Mary Lou. Okay. Mary
Yeah, she didn't tell you. So what do you say? I know you said the mind, the emotions, feelings, and body. So do you say I release this, or what do you say as you do your?
Okay. Sherry, help me with this.
Okay, I'm just going to give an example. I feel fat in this shirt today. People are going to think I look fat. Wait a minute. That's programming. That is not my truth. That's the programming from the robot, from the things I grew up with, from everything I've been programmed. That is not my truth. My truth is I'm a divine being who is perfect, whole, and healthy.
Yeah, that's the second part that you guys don't know, that the people that have not been in this group, is that you will state what your truth is. And what was your truth, Sherry?
Well, I don't have to have specific words for my truth. I was
Right.
taught very wise.
No, I know, but I mean anything that you want to say.
Anything, right. So my hair looks really bad. People are going to judge me. Wait a minute. That's not my truth. That is not my truth. I'm giving it to the robot. I am perfect just as I am. There is nothing wrong with me.
Okay. Did you get that, Mary William? But you have to do that on all 4 levels, including the charge part. Mind, body, emotions, charge. Okay, one at a time, because, and usually if it's something that makes you really, something that really irritates you, or something that really has put you in a very compromising state, you can do this also mentally, without, if you're in a crowd, if you are in with a bunch of people, with, you know, the act of doing it, but visualize yourself doing it mentally. It is not so much the action of this as the action in your mind, because your mind will believe whatever you're saying. And the thing about doing it physically and giving it to a robot is that you are giving, when you have a cellular memory, the cellular memory is not only the words, it's the feelings, it's the emotions, it's the whole, it's all your senses become involved. Okay, your sight, your smell, your everything, all of your senses become involved, and they all get logged in as that. So once you throw it away, you're not saying, okay, and I was feeling this and I do this and that. No, all you have to do is get rid of the package itself. Yes, Liliana.
Could you maybe give me an example? For example, I noticed that tendency of trying to fix future things with worrying. So how, the way I think I could do it, but I don't know if this is the proper way, would be, should I say what came to me, or do you want to demonstrate?
I don't have an idea what you're asking, so please demonstrate.
Well, I just wanted to do the
I'm
example.
sorry, I did not understand what you were trying to explain to me. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to find a specific example that would work for my thinking of worrying, so that I could give it up. Just like
okay, give me an example.
And I'm trying to see if I'm doing it right. That's what I wanted to have demonstrated.
Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, I catch myself, I am again looking into the future, seeing images, and then I say, then I can, oh, stop, that is not my reality. And then I can then just say, I choose to let go of these old images. They
No, you don't even have to go there. All you have to do is not my truth.
They don't
This is
serve
not my truth. This is not my truth. You don't have to name anything, or, you know, because your body knows what it's feeling. You're absolutely running on cellular memory. So what you're doing is addressing your programming. Is going, no, this is not my truth.
Can I say something? There is some anger that I have this program, because I have wanted to, I don't like this program, but the program runs me. So I want to say this, I don't want it anymore. It doesn't serve me anymore. I want to give it away. That's why I want to affirm that it has no power over me. That's what I'm wanting to affirm.
Okay, one more time, Liliana, listen to me very carefully. This is about the 5th time in the past 2 sessions that I have said the same message, and evidently we all need to hear it because we're all present. So whatever you focus on expands.
Okay.
You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Penny, you were going to say something. Unmute.
I was thinking of an example, because I have a tendency to worry a lot too, Liliana. And one of my fears has always been, oh, I'm so afraid I'm going to end up in a nursing home and I have nobody to help me, because I have no children, I have no siblings. So I have to go, give that to the robot. I am whole and I am well, and I will be that way while I am still in this human, I am still a spiritual being in this human body. That's how I will be. So that's what I have to do to not let that worry come into me as it does. And I have to continue to do that, because it seems like it wants to haunt me.
So Penny, when you do that, I'm sorry, I'm curious.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to follow up on Penny's comment. When you do that, do you
When you do what?
when she does that, that is not my truth. I am whole. I am healthy.
Right.
What she's trying to say is I'm not going to end up in a nursing home by myself. I mean, she's trying
Right.
to deprogram that. Is that a temporary relief, or does it just keep coming back?
I have to try. I have to do it more than once. Now I don't know how do I do it so I don't have to do it anymore.
Are you doing this completely, or are you just doing this is not my truth and be done with it? And this is
I don't think I'm engaging all of the senses.
You have to take all the way up to the emotional charge. I mean the power charge. If you don't take that away, you keep on having it coming back over and over. You might have to do it 2 or 3 times. You will have different experiences close to that. So remove them as well, and when they show up. It doesn't take that long, just not my truth. But the more you do that, also the more aware that you become consciously of what's running you.
Okay.
Yes, Anna.
I have a question. So my brain or my thinking goes to, and then I would like to visualize myself in a nursing home surrounded by people who love me, who may not be my siblings because they're not there, or my children. I mean, is that a way to also close a little bit so that it doesn't keep haunting? Could you visualize at that point peace around being a nursing home, because that's the fear?
Okay, why does the outcome has to be a nursing home?
Because that's her fear. Her fear is going to end up in a nursing home.
Okay. Can it be, let's say that maybe she can concentrate on having people around her that know her, friends that live together. There's so many variations of what could happen. She could have an inheritance. She could have friends living together. She could have, Sherry and I were talking about living together, getting 6 or 7 people that are all single that, that will do that and live together. There's so many different variables of that. Okay, so it's not only that one thing, yes, I mean, but I would like to broaden that spectrum, that there's more alternatives than I don't have any children, so I am doomed to have this, and that's not the truth. There's so many other options, according to how unlimited your mind is. Your body thinks that it's limited because it can't see anything else. The spirit does not have that limitation. It's an unlimited being. And once you touch that unlimitedness, then your choices will start expanding. The more that you see that, the more that is available to you at all times. So I don't want to tell her to start visualizing something she doesn't want to begin with. It's almost like, just in case, this will help you do something. What I want her to find is her strength. I want her to find a way to know that there's more than one choice, that there's plethora of things to draw from. You got that, Penny?
Yeah, well, one of the things I would rather see is stay at home and have enough money to have somebody take care of me. That's
Listen.
My truth is, okay, I got it now. You're out of here, nursing home. I'm gonna have enough prosperity where I will be able to have someone come to my home and take care of me. That's
okay.
The direction I've been going in, because I'm not too good at living with other people, for one thing. But to have somebody come in and help me who would be reliable and loving, and there's some of these people who are caregivers, they can be very, very reliable and loving.
Okay, we're gonna take a 7-minute break. I'll see you back here at 2:27. Are you gonna take Emma out?
You had to say her name. Now she's giving me the furry eyeball.
We'll take her out. Okay. Go take her out to go pee. Okay, bye.
Is everybody muted? Nice to see everyone who I can see anyway. I can only get 6 screens on my tablet.
6 screens?
I can only see 6 people at a time on my tablet.
Uh-huh. Well, you can always change that. I forgot where that's at. There's a little thing. You can show 4 or you can show 6, or you can show them underneath each other.
Yeah, I'll deal with that when we're not on.
Yeah. Then you can't do it because everybody's gone.
I think we just have six of us with us, right? No, we have. So I see all 12.
Yeah, 12. Darlene went to the doctor. What's her name? Went to the doctor too, and Chad had issues, so 3 of us didn't show up.
But you know, we all look really good.
According to the video, we looked horrible last week.
I don't care. I think we're just beautiful souls here, all joining together.
Oh,
we're cute.
We're absolutely cute and adorable.
We are.
I'm telling you.
I'm so cute, I might have to date myself.
I don't know. I mean, look at this.
Why not? You should have someone to go out with.
You know, all this is being
Wait,
recorded.
where are you going to go out to?
We are being recorded.
Oh, that's a good question, too.
Remember this. We might be on break, but it's being recorded.
I got nothing to hide.
I won't swear. I promise. I swear I won't swear.
Oh, dear.
We cannot even see you, woman.
I know, and that's really great. You don't want to see me at this point.
Yeah.
I can hardly stand and look in the mirror. God. It's like a skeleton.
Remember that I have to be mature because I am on recording.
Okay. People,
Okay.
7 minutes are up. Where is Lisa and where is Virginia? It's Virginia.
Virginia.
Hola.
Almost stop.
Okay. Did anybody think of any more questions? Yes, Irma. Unmute.
Okay, I have a question regarding the dimensions. So the 3rd dimension is covered by the solar plexus, and the 5th by the heart, and the 4th by the throat.
No, the 4th by the heart and the 5th by the throat.
Oh, the 4th by the heart. So why are we, can you talk a little bit more about the 5th dimension? Why are we skipping the 4th?
We're not skipping it.
No.
We are on the 4th dimension.
Oh, we are.
That's the dimension you're at. And you're accessing the 5th dimension because we're birthing the 5th dimension. We are the pioneers of opening the portals and training the people on what to do.
Does that mean that we have, in order to be on the heart level, on the 4th dimension, we have to act with unconditional love towards everyone?
When you remember that. Remember that behavior is your choice. Behavior is a choice. And how you choose to behave is up to you. The idea that you should behave in a specific manner has a lot of judgment to it.
Okay, that was my question.
Okay. Yes, Penny.
Angie, you were saying that the fifth dimension chakra is the throat, but when we talk about the fifth dimension, you said everything is coming from the heart in the fifth dimension, and there's not a lot of analysis.
You cannot get to the fifth dimension if you do not operate from your torotic field. Your torotic field being your heart field, and as you expand that field, then you touch the fifth dimension. And the way that we do that is through all the exercises that we have been performing. As you get closer to the fifth dimension, all you have to do is then at that point is grab onto your heart. And when you're meditating or intending to love the heart chakra, so put your hands on your heart and start loving your heart chakra and start meditating about, you know, the love that can emanate from that, which is the love of spirit. The love of spirit always flows. It cannot be contained. When it says, my cup runneth over, what that means is my heart chakra is open. You know, on the Bible, where it says, my cup runneth over, it is talking about the heart chakra. Going, okay, it's now open. Your torotic field is more than 6 feet apart, and it's spilling out into the world. The more that you do that, the more that you're able to expand that field. And I told you that the more you expand that field, the more powerful you become. And it's not so much the power of a power, you know, hungry for power, but the power of love. We're talking about the power of love, the, you know, peace, love, harmony. All the things that does not occupy a body. The body needs defending, the body needs cleaning, and needs to be eat, and needs to eat, and needs to be clothed, and needs to be housed, and all these needs only come from the body. You are not your body, but you choose to live in one to express as a body. There's nothing wrong with expressing as a body. So do not condemn a body. The body was meant for us to express, or we will not be here expressing through it. The thing is that we need to express correctly. Last class, I told you guys how not to pray amiss, because Penny had brought something up about coherence when I said, you know, coherence of the mind and heart. When everything is aligned there, then when your mind, your emotions and all that is in alignment, then you're in coherence. The coherence part of that, then you can start to pray and it will manifest. Then Penny came out with the question, what happens when you are in a state of coherence, but it is totally the wrong feeling? I am angry, I am enraged, I am, you know, and my mind and all of me is in accordance and in alignment with that. What happens then? I says, well, that's called miscreation, or praying amiss, what the Bible calls praying amiss. So I thought that was important. Lisa, you're awfully quiet. What's up?
No, nothing to say. I'm just tired.
Okay.
Right before class, I was biking about 10 miles and then the bike broke in the middle of the woods. So I ended up running about 4 miles on top of that.
Okay, Lisa. Okay, so it's 2:34. We still have time. Okay, so any misunderstandings on being aligned for the wrong thing, something that you do not want to manifest. Because we, you know, we keep on saying, okay, this keeps happening to me. And this keeps happening to me. And why does it keep happening to me? Well, first of all, you're repeating it right then. Why does this keep on happening to me? That's focus on that. But also you have to take, when you're not at your best, that's when I will say, please pay attention, not to start manifesting more of what you do not want by becoming in alignment with those things. And then, I have people that like to feel bad because that in our body, with every word that is being said, is recording, and then it becomes a cellular memory. And then once it becomes a cellular memory and we start reacting, whether it is we like to cry or we like to throw a tantrum or we like to, whatever it is that we want to do to get rid of whatever because it will make us feel better, that's a habit, people. That's a program. Just so you know, it's a program. And unfortunately, that's all we do to try to, why do we do this? Why do we keep on doing that? Is because that's all we are. That's all we know what to do. So since that's all we know what to do, then we need to change that. We need to change that because every thought produces a chemical reaction. Every thought, not just, so your body is addicted to the chemical that has embraced that programming. So you're addicted to a programming, and you said, I need the chemicals that are released, whether when I'm crying or when I'm throwing a tantrum or when I'm doing this, because if I don't cry, I cannot really. No, if you don't cry, you're not releasing the chemicals that you're used to releasing to make you feel better. So it's a program. And it's not.
I got a question.
Who's that? Who's talking?
Diane, which I got a question then. I end up getting so frustrated that I get angry. And I don't like anger because from anger comes a lot of negativity. So how do I change my program when I start to feel myself? One of the tools I was given was saying, you're causing my shark music, which means you're basically making me angry. How do I stop, recheck, regroup, and not have anger? Because anger is not healthy for any of us. Any suggestions?
Okay. Can you reword that in another way? So I have the complete picture. Something was missing on my side. Not on your side, but I need to have the complete picture here.
Okay, one of the things that makes me basically angry is it's getting super late. It's 12, it's 1, it's 2 in the morning, and the kids are still running back and forth in the hallway, don't want to settle down and go to sleep. And I'm tired by this point because it's been a long day. So then I end up having to be nasty, mean, and angry voice to get them to stop, to start to settle down and go to sleep.
Okay.
They don't go to sleep when you tell them to either.
Okay, you're talking about a behavioral, you do not have a plan for controlling your voice. You do not have, you did not train them to obey you. Right?
Well,
yeah, evidently. I mean, that's not a question, that's just a statement.
Okay.
So you cannot be blaming them for something you didn't do. Number one. So the first thing is to forgive yourself. So get the guilt out of that. Get the guilt, remove yourself away from guilt. Number two, tell them that you're tired. Do not go after them and says, I told you, blah, 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 blah. Do not fight. Just go, you know, I'm really tired. I feel like crying, and because I don't know what else to do, and I really need your help. Have you tried that approach?
I have.
Excuse me?
The mother says she has.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah. Well, I generally do. I say, you know, it's getting late. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. You guys need to settle down so we can all go to sleep, because I really don't like to go to sleep unless the kids are asleep.
Okay, you're coming out already out of anger with those words.
That's what I said. I end up getting to that point.
So okay, so before next time this happens, watch your behavior. Don't do anything, just watch your behavior. Do carry on with your emotion, but watch your behavior. Have the watcher in there with you. Once you watch that behavior and allow it to happen with that restraining, go ahead and do whatever you're going to do, but this time there's going to be a watcher watching. When you have that on, then you become more aware of your reactions, because by this time what you're doing is only reacting. You're no longer in an acting manner. You're reacting to the stimuli that is happening outside of you. So how do you, the real issue here is do not get to the point where you are in a reactive mode. At 11 o'clock, say, okay, that's it. Lights out, turn the lights out. If you need to unplug machines and everything else, do it and go to bed.
So I should just go to bed myself, whether they have or not?
Number one, unplug everything. Turn all the lights off. And if you have to, for at least an hour, turn the electricity off.
Okay.
Don't ask, don't say anything, do not argue. You're not going to argue, you're not going to say anything, you're just going to do. You're going to be in an acting mode. And of course, you're going to have reactions. And you're going to say, okay, I'm tired of having to wait on you guys to go to sleep. So I decided that since I'm the adult here in this home, I am going to be doing this, and this is what we're going to be following from now on. I mean, if that's what you wish to do, it is up to you how you handle your kids. This is just an option on what it is that without electricity and without the stimuli of machines and whatever else, they're going to get bored. So it's just, like I said, it's just an option. There's many options like usual. There's never just one option. There's many options, but this is what I would do if I was you. But since you're asking me, I'm giving you my opinion. And this is only an opinion.
Right. I appreciate that.
All right.
Thanks, Angie. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I hate to drop a ball and then have to run, but I also have scheduled a PTA meeting at 3 o'clock today that is on Zoom, and hopefully everybody will be able to get on real quick.
Okay.
So I'm here on you guys in a little bit.
Okay, if you have a chance to donate, please do so. Virginia would appreciate it.
And I'm sure Unity would too.
Okay. We love you.
Love you guys too. Thanks for being there.
Okay, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to let Virginia explain her donation thing for Unity.
We do appreciate your participation here in the class, and we would really appreciate your financial support so we can continue to do all of these things. And it's easy to do on our website by going to the donate button. Also, it helps us if you can make Unity a friend or family or if you pay from a checking account rather than another card, then we don't have any fees. So we appreciate that. And also you can use Venmo. If you'd like to send a check in, there's a mailing address on the website also. And there's always a bank transfer. You can make Unity a recipient on your bill pay on your online banking or on phone banking. So there are lots of options. If you need any help with any of those, please call and we'll coach you through that. And just want to say thank you to all of you who have donated already. We really, really appreciate your support. The suggested offering is $10 per class. Give according to your ability. And so we never want anybody not to participate if you don't have the $10. So, and we also affirm everybody's overflowing abundance so that we can all be extremely generous. But thank you all for your support and love having you in this group.
Okay. Before I move on, any more questions from anybody?
I was just going to ask Virginia if you take Zell.
Unmute yourself, Virginia.
Do you take Zell for your?
We're not set up, but we could be. How do you spell that?
It's ZELLE.
Okay.
I can go online too. I just thought it'd be easy if you had that.
I can. This is the first I've ever heard of that one, but I can.
Oh, yeah.
What bank does Unity use? What bank does Unity use?
Grow Financial.
You do? No, you won't have Zelle. No. Credit unions don't have Zelle.
Okay.
I just put it in the computer, but credit unions do not have Zelle.
Okay. Do you have another option, Mary?
Oh, yeah, I can go online.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember that you can also use checks.
I have Zelle through the Federal Credit Union.
It works?
Okay.
I have through Suncoast Credit Union.
Yeah, but
well,
I pay one of my doctors through Zelle, and I just have to have his email address. So I'm wondering if, yeah, because he's a independent alternative doctor, and he has a small business. So, but I pay him through Zelle because we do remote.
Okay.
Carries it.
Excuse me.
Just check.
We're done with this conversation. I'm going to go ahead and close because we don't have that much time left. Okay. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate each and every one of your energies because even though we're not together, we are sharing our energies and our voices through this machinery, and our energetic soul group is receiving each and every one of our vibrations, whether we're present in remember on the fifth dimension, you know that I'm going to ask you from the beginning of the 3.0 classes that remember not to centralize yourself in your body. Remember that I am right there where you're at, and you are right here where I'm at. So we're all together. So because we're not that body that we're sitting there, so I would ask you to remember that, because collectively, as we are in agreement, we are more powerful. Where two or more are gathered in my name, there I will be also. Meaning that wherever I am in the oneness with you and in agreement with you, I am there also. I am right there with you. And if we are in agreement, the more people that are in agreement, the more powerful the intention. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, please. And I want you to breathe in at your own pace And I want you to relax. Feel the body in your chair. Allow yourself to leave all of your problems behind you as history, regardless of how you're going to do anything or whatever, just leave it behind you. For right now, you can pick it up at the end of the meditation. I don't care what you do with it, but in the meantime, leave everything where it needs to be out of this area. This is a sacred group. It is a group of very high intuitive people. It is a group of loving people. We come together not only to help each other, but to help the world. We are the helpers. We are the carriers of knowledge. We are the empaths. Everyone in this group is an empath. So allowing peace, allowing safety, allowing joy, allowing well-being, allowing every cell in our body the freedom of joy, the freedom of harmony, the freedom of love. Breathing in and releasing. Breathing in through each pore of your body, every pore in your body, revitalizing and breathing in, allowing oxygen to flow freely through your body, allowing your meridians to flow freely, allowing the energy in your body, not only your torotic field, your mind field, your torotic field, your electrical body, your magnetic body, in alignment right here, right now. I want you to pay attention to the left hemisphere of your brain and the right hemisphere of your brain. And I want you to imagine tapping each one of them with the opposite side of each hand, the opposite side of the hemisphere. Every time you do that, and every time you do that, you are balancing your brain, your hemispheres. You are in harmony. You are in peace, allowing joy and well-being, allowing your body to accept, allowing your body to accept healing right now, right here. Allow healing. If you allow healing, you will allow peace. Allow the peace that is within you, in each and every one of your cells, to be radiated in perfect health. Allow every system in your body to radiate with perfect health and well-being. Allowing your mind to relax. Allowing your neck and your underarms. You are a beautiful being, deserving of perfect health. You are perfect health. You're the one that allows perfect health to flow through. I'm asking you to allow right here, right now. Allow the light within you. So when I say peace, be still, and know you're God within. Remember to operate from your heart chakra. And as I'm asking you now to get your attention on your heart chakra and put your hands on your heart chakra, I'm asking you to love yourself, to allow the love to permeate your heart chakra. Feel that vibration vibrating into your heart chakra, allowing love. You are love. That love is already there. I'm asking you to recognize that love. It's already there. It is you. Allow it to be there. Allow it to flow. Allow your cup to flow over, to overflow. And as it is overflowing, visualize the world in front of you. Your world, your destiny. Visualize a world of peace. Not your peace, but world peace. Not the peace of men, but the peace of God. Allowing peace to radiate this planet, and love, and unity, and harmony. It doesn't matter who the person is, they're all worthy, every one of them. You included. Allow peace in this world. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with you. We are all one. I love you. I want to say to you, peace be still. Love be still. Know that you are loved. I'm calling forth that love, that energy that is loving you to come and radiate from every pore of your being. Allow the love, allow the peace. It's okay to be peaceful. It's okay to relax. It's okay to feel good. You can relax if you want. There is no excuses. Remember that. If there's an excuse, you need to look at that because it's not you. So please relax. Know that you're all you need. Know that you can do this. And know that it is always 24/7 available to you because it is you. Namaste.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
Who was that?
Liliana.
Okay, Liliana, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Anne.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.